Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Guru Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailogyam Sacharacharam Tadpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Narayanaya, 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 Om Namo Narayanaya. Syavara Ramachandra ki jai, Pavana Sudha Hanuman ki jai, Polo Vai Sab Santana ki jai, Umapati Mahadev ki jai, Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. We left off in the last class with looking at the sorrow that is created out of brooding over sense objects. We saw that looking at an object is not a problem. But again and again, when we repeatedly think about that object, superimpose an idea that that object will make me happy, then become attached to it and dependent on it for my happiness, and then create an expectation on top of that, and try to live in that future joy. This is called brooding over sense objects. And we saw a beautiful example that Sitaji, for the welfare of all of us, had demonstrated how brooding over that golden deer caused her to spirally fall to the extent that she spoke such words which destroyed the heart of that Lakshmana, who was a pious and faithful soul, who was there to serve Rama and Sita, who thought of Sita ji as his mother. And from that moment onwards, that delusion, that selfish entity called Ravana took over. That delusion, that ego. And see how she became sorrowful after that. And to that extent, she went, when she's sitting in the Ashoka Vatika under that tree, she cries out to that tree and says, "Oh tree, drop that flame, that flower, that red flower that you have, which looks like a flame, drop it on me and may that burn me." Because once you have got caught in this cycle of the ladder of fall, once we have said something which we can't take back, that sense of guilt, the sense of regret, the sense of disappointment, all of that leads to depression, dejection, destruction. Pranashyati, Bhagavan Krishna says. We perish. We make others around us perish. And at that time, that Sankata Mochana, Hanuman, comes to free Mother Sita by dropping that ring that gave hope, that reminded her that her Lord is coming. So therefore, how does one stop this delusion for us from getting into this brooding, into this imagination? Therefore, Sitaji demonstrates, when Ravana comes to her, she does not look at him. Not that she could not look at him, that pure Sita would have burnt him. But she takes a blade of grass and she addresses the blade of grass, reminding us that when our senses associate with something, when we spend time with something, it can create temptation in our heart. So therefore, unless you are sure where your senses are going, don't let it brew out there. Refuse to associate with such when you know that there is possibilities of corruption, temptation. And keep that mind fixed on that Lord. Constantly keep remembering that Bhagavan. And practice. If we are caught, practice Pratipaksha Bhavana. Ravana comes and tries to entice her with so many things. But Sita ji keeps on remembering the glories of Bhagavan and tells Ravana that Rama is like the sun, whereas you are like a glowworm. Pratipaksha Bhavana is when you are identified to something and you want to break out of it. Because usually when we are attached to something, we only talk about the positives. Even if somebody tells you of the negative, but you always make it into a positive. So therefore, Pratipaksha Bhavana is to look at the negative and look at the negative alone. So therefore, she compares Ravana with Rama. Rama is the sun, Ravana is a glowworm. Insignificant, even less than a blade of grass. And when one tries to practice this, sincerely holding on to that feet of that Lord, the Lord sends help. And that is none other than the Guru, Shri Hanumanji. Hanumanji arrives there and gives us faith, gives us hope, and brings that comforting feeling in us, that assurance that the Lord is coming. That the Lord is around the corner. The mere sight of our Guru is guarantee that Bhagavan is coming, guarantee that success is ours. So therefore, by brooding, we will fall and we will create sorrow for us. So therefore, Sitaji demonstrates the ladder of fall, that brooding, what it can create for us. intense sorrow, intense depression. And through Hanumanji we come to learn how he lifted Sitaji out of that depression, dejection, and gave her peace and happiness. And now we look at the next cause of sorrow. As we are studying these verses, as we now go into the verse 5 and 6, 7, and 8, it becomes more and more subtler. More difficult to define what is that cause, but we can derive from it the causes. So let us see how we derive. So now verse number 5.
बान लग्योर लक्ष्मण के तब, बान लग्योर लक्ष्मण के तब, प्राण तजे सुत रावण मारो, प्राण तजे सुत रावण मारो, ले गृह वैद्य सुषेण समेत, ले गृह वैद्य सुषेण समेत, तबै गिरि द्रोण सुबीर उपारो, तबै गिरि द्रोण सुबीर उपारो।
आनी सजीवन हाथ दई तब, आनी सजीवन हाथ दई तब, लक्ष्मण के तुम प्राण उबारो, लक्ष्मण के तुम प्राण उबारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो।
Bhagavan, Sri Rama, and Ravana get into a severe battle, a heavy duty battle where many casualties, many warriors are getting killed. And Ravana seems to be losing the battle. And at that time, Ravana's son, Meghanada, another name for Meghanada is Indrajit, he comes. And fiercely he fights. And he spends most of his time fighting with Lakshmana. And devious methods Indrajit uses to fight with Lakshmana. And fierce battle goes on. And finally, Indrajit, seeing that there's no way that he is going to win Lakshmana, he uses his special astra, special weapon called the Shaktiban. And he uses that and he lets go of that arrow, a potent missile. And it hits Lakshmana and Lakshmana falls to the ground. Totally unconscious he becomes. Great joy took place in the Ravana camp. And they quickly came, because once such a great mighty warrior has fallen, let's take him back to our camp. No chance of relieving him. But when they came to pick up that Lakshmana, Ravana's army, they couldn't carry him. He was so heavy. Lakshmana is none other than the avatar of Sheshnag. That 1,000-hooded snake, which is the bed of Lord Narayana, who holds the entire creation on his head. That Sheshnag was so heavy, they could not take him away. Hanumanji comes, picks up that Lakshmana to show us that one who is a master, one who is an enlightened person, is the master of this creation. He was able to pick up that Sheshnag, that Lakshmana on his shoulder, and takes him back to the camp. Lord Rama, seeing this situation of condition of his brother Lakshmana, his brotherly feelings comes out, and Bhagavan Rama starts grieving that Lakshmana is unconscious, and he feels and he calls out and he cries, how can I ever achieve anything in life now without you, O Lakshmana? Life is not worth living. O Lakshmana, life is not worth living without you. You are my very life breath. How will I face your mother, Mother Sumitra? She sent you with me, knowing that I will protect you. But I am not able to protect you. How will I face her? If I knew that this was going to happen to you, I would have disobeyed our father and not come to the forest at all. If I knew this was going to happen to you. And saying this, Bhagavan falls to the ground and he cries. He weeps. And all the monkeys sitting around Bhagavan, they also have tears. Everybody was feeling depressed. And at that time, Vibhishana, Ravana's youngest brother, who had already defected and come to this side, who was a great devotee of Bhagavan Rama, he comes to Hanumanji and says to him, Hanuman, now go to the city of Lanka, to the capital city of Lanka. And there is a very famous specialist called Sushesana. Shushena. And go and bring him. So Hanumanji rushes off to the city of Lanka. And when he gets there, he observes that the clinic is there. And he thinks to himself, if I ask this Sushena, to come and help, and this Shushena is Ravana's doctor, why would he support the opposition? What happens if he doesn't cooperate? Hanumanji thought. So what did Hanumanji do? Not only he took Shushena, but he took the entire dispensary also. Now think of Hanumanji's long-term, bigger thinking. We say think big, but what is the thinking big here? He thought, this Sushena, because he is from the opposition side, he may not cooperate. And pretending to cooperate, he might say, oh, but my medicine is left in the dispensary, I have to go there to get the medicine. So therefore, Hanumanji said, let us not waste any time. He picked up the whole dispensary, the medical center, and brought it to Sri Rama. Right? And Hanumanji persuades Sushena, tells him, what is the dharma of doctor? Doctor's job is not to see whether this is a criminal or this is a supporter, a good person or a bad person. A good doctor's dharma is to save the life. So therefore, Sushena checks out Lakshmana, who is totally unconscious, and says that there is a medicine in Dronagiri, in the Himalayas. Bring that herb called Sanjeevani Bhuti, and that will cure Lakshmana. But you must bring it before daybreak. Otherwise, it will be too late. Hanumanji taking the blessings of Sri Rama, taking the Lord's name, Hanumanji jumps off to Dronagiri. But Ravana is not somebody you should take lightly. When he knows that attack is on and he's got the upper hand, he schemes with his uncle Kalanemi, who was a magician, an illusionist, and made that Kalanemi, made a deal with Kalanemi. He said, I will give you half my kingdom if you can stop Hanumanji from doing this. Because if Hanumanji doesn't get it, Lakshmana will collapse and Rama's will be down and we can defeat Rama. So therefore Kalanemi, acting like an ascetic, pretending to be an ascetic, Hanumanji goes there and Hanumanji understands that this is not a real sadhu. A fight takes place, Hanumanji finishes him off. And Hanumanji finds that Sanjeevani booty and Hanumanji thinks, now again, how much should I take? Because every person's body is different. Their capacity of medication may be more. What happens if Sushena did not give enough information of the quantity? He might tell, go back again, it might be too late. So Hanumanji cut a slice of the Dronagiri mountain hill and brought a hill in his hand, flying back to where they were in Lanka. And there the medicine was given to Lakshmana and Lakshmana was saved. Now, what is the meaning of this story? If we go deeply into it, Rama represents our knowledge, our intellect, that which is full of knowledge. Sitaji represents peace and devotion. Lakshmana represents our vairagya, our dispassion. And we all have this. We all have this. But when we are practicing this knowledge, which we call it viveka, leads to vairagya, which is detachment and dispassion. To be able to cut that which is not going to help me in my journey. Staying away from it, but using our intelligence. So therefore, we're not dependent on it for our happiness. But we forget. Sometimes we relax our sadhana. And when a temptation, an object comes in front of us, what do we usually say? We usually say, once in a while, now and then, once in a while, we will indulge in it. Now remember, once in a while is the power of the sense object. And if we are not alert, what will it do? It will drag us and make us, our vairagya become unconscious. Only for namesake we call it vairagya. Now, this object called Meghanada, Lakshman did not brood like Sitaji on the deer. Here, from Bhagavad Gita we understand, verse 59, chapter 2, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. That this rasa. See, whenever we enjoy some object, it leaves a taste behind. Over many practices that we do our sadhana, we're able to take our attention away from the sense object and we feel that we have overcome it. But what lingers is the taste. And that taste, which is the subtlest of all vasanas, will only disappear when we realize the supreme truth. So therefore it is always lingering in the back. But through our self-control, our sense restraint, shama, dhamma, etc., plus our viveka and vairagya, we keep it in check. And over a period of time, we feel that we've overcome it. But if we are not alert, when that temptation comes in front of us, that sense objects, how that taste, that rasa is invoked. And that vairagya that we have been practicing goes into coma. And the moment vairagya goes into coma, what about our clear thinking? What about our viveka discrimination? Weakens also. So this Indrajit, this Meghna represents desire, lust. And lust is the child of delusion, ignorance, that Ravana. And lust, when we have, it pushes our senses outwards. And a person of Vairagya, slight drop of that alertness, just a slight relaxation, there's a sudden attack. And that's what Meghna did. A sudden attack of that, surprise attack of that weapon. Discrimination gone, knowledge helpless, Rama is crying over there. Right? So therefore, how do we get back this discrimination? We have fallen now. We are unconscious of Vairagya. Our discrimination is crying. It is weeping. It's in depression. It grieving. So now how do you wake it up? That's when you need Hanumanji. Hanumanji must always be kept near us. Who's Hanumanji? Our Guru, saints and sages, company of satsang. We must always keep near us. Many people say, I have gained this knowledge, Swamiji. I am going to go home and practice. Class is not necessary. Watch what happens to us. We fall only. Difficult to get up. Back to that glory of our sadhana, our vairagya, our inner strength. So therefore, keep that saints and sages, keep that guru, keep that satsang right next to us. Keep that Hanumanji near us. And what will Hanumanji do? See, when we say that dispassion has fallen, means attachment to something has come. That attachment to the sense object has come. So therefore the mind is gravitating towards the sense object. It has desire for the sense object. It has love for the sense object. I can't live without it, is my condition. So therefore, if the mind is emotionally identified to the sense object, then with that same emotion, we have to turn it the other way. So therefore, Hanumanji, the Guru, helps the student, helps that seeker to gain that vairagya through devotion for the Lord, devotion for the higher. And that devotion is called as Sanjeevani Puti. And who is this Guru? One who is holding brahmacharya. Not only vairagya inside, but outside also mastery of the senses. And such a person can go and bring that devotion, that Bhakti Ganga, bring that Jnana Ganga to the student and bring back that intellect and bring back that mind and connect them and fix that mind on the higher and strengthen back this vairagya. So therefore, what is it that you and I must do to practice not getting ourselves caught in this lust, in this karma, in the web of Indrajit? Therefore, devotion to the higher. Keep your goals high, right? And spend time with those who have those high goals. Spend time with positive people. Spend time serving our Guru and spending time with our Guru. Keep that sense organs, the 10 organs, 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action in control. Live a life of moderation. Now, again, here moderation in Gita also, Bhagavan says. But what is this moderation we must do? Moderation in good things. Because even good things, when overdone, becomes a problem. So, therefore, moderation in dharma, moderation in good, doing the good and dropping away the totally bad. So, therefore, not moderation in bad, only moderation in good, because when overdone, it becomes a problem. And seek the shelter of devotion. And who are those who have devotion? The saints and sages, our Guru, our own parents and our elders who have been practicing. Keep their company. Because when we are with our elders, when we are with our Guru, lust cannot catch us. So, helps in winning back our vairagya. Helps us to overcome this lust. So, therefore, in Bhajagovindam, Shankaracharya says, Satsangatvam Nirsangatve. Detachment comes when we are in satsang. And it protects us from these dangerous addictions. So, those of us who have addictions, etc., spend time with those who love you. Spend time with those who have love for God. And when we spend time with them, we are able to let go of those addictions. And we rejuvenate ourselves and lift ourselves. So therefore, when we have this satsang in our life, we have our Guru in our life, we have this devotion in our life, we are living this life the way that Hanumanji has prescribed in Sankat Mochan, we will be able to ever be steadfast in that vairagya, and that viveka will be strong, supported by that devotion which holds it together. We are able to be successful in everything, and we are able to conquer this lust. And this lust, when we are caught, leads to sorrow. Makes us become unconscious and makes everybody around us also suffer. So therefore, Sankata Mochana Namatiharo Kone hi janate he jagame kapi Sankata Mochana Namatiharo. So therefore, hold on to that Hanumanji. Cry out to that Hanumanji to help us. Even if we have fallen, cry out to him to come and help us lift. And in remembrance of Hanumanji, he will come to help us to lift towards that Lord and overcome this lust. And those of us who are not fallen, keep remembering Hanumanji. Keep uplifting ourselves in that satsang with that saints and sages, our Guru, with good company, people who are positive, who wants to achieve the higher. And keep ourselves totally connected so that we don't get caught by this lust, which can come from any direction. So therefore, be alert and vigilant, Puja Gurudev says. And now we look at verse number 6, the next cause of our sorrow.
रावण युद्ध अजान कियो तब, रावण युद्ध अजान कियो तब, नाक की फांस सबे सिर डारो, नाक की फांस सबे सिर डारो, श्री रघुनाथ समेत सबे, श्री रघुनाथ समेत सबे दल, मोह भयो यह संकट भारो, मोह भयो यह संकट भारो।
आनी खगेस तबे हनुमान जो, आनी खगेस तबे हनुमान जो, बंधन काटे सूत्रास निवारो, बंधन काटे सूत्रास निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कभी, वो नहीं जानत है जग में कभी, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो, संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो।
Having been defeated in this attack by Meghnada, Ravana with vengeance returns back to continue the battle. And this time, well equipped. His chariot was amazing, nothing like ever seen by anybody else. All types of missiles, all types of gadgets. I think Ravana's chariot will put shame to our armies that we have in this world. He had everything, totally ready to fight that Rama. Comes in his majestic machine, his chariot. And Sri Rama, on the other hand, was barefooted, holding his no chariot, holding his bow and arrow, standing there in front of this mighty Ravana who was standing across him. And seeing this, Ravana so majestically standing there, and Rama royally standing with just his bow and arrow, with bare feet, with nothing else but bow and arrow. Seeing this, Vibhishana gets worried. He said, how is my Bhagwan going to fight this Ravana? Look at him. So he comes and he cries out his thoughts. And Bhagwan smiles at him. And this became Vibhishan Gita. So you'll find this in the Ramayana called Vibhishan Gita. And where Bhagwan tells him what is the difference of a might which is outside and what is that strength of an inner strength that somebody has. We have no time to go into Vibhishan Gita, so some other time we will study Vibhishan Gita. And seeing from a different angle, Agastya Muni, seeing Rama's condition, he comes running down. And he comes and gives advice to Bhagwan how to fight Ravan. And this became Aditya Hridayam. Another beautiful set of verses. Even though Rama was Bhagwan, out of our love, out of Vibhishana's love, out of Agastya Muni's love, they all approach to share their worries and advices. Don't we also? We know our Guru knows everything. He is the knower of the supreme infinite truth. But do we not, like a mother or father, give advice? So, and why? Not out of ego, but out of our love. So out of his love, they gave that advice to Bhagwan. A fierce battle started taking place between Rama and Ravana. And after a lot of fight going on, Ravana releases his Nagapasha. This Nagapasha is invisible snakes which will tie the recipient and hypnotize them to pretty much become useless, helpless. All energy drained out. And he sends it down, and all the monkeys, including Rama and Lakshmana, faint, become helpless. But the only one who was standing was Hanumanji. And at that time, Saint Narad Muni appears in the scene to give Hanumanji some advice. And he says to Hanumanji, "Oh Hanuman, invoke the grace of Garudji Garuda is Lord Vishnu's eagle. And get that eagle to come and remove the poison, this Nagapasha poison, these snakes that are poisoned and hypnotized and has created this problem. Ask Garuji to come. So Garuji was invoked by Hanumanji. Garuji comes and destroys all the snakes, free enemy snakes, and frees all of them from this bondage of this missile, poisonous missile. And destroys even the influences, because the hypnotism, everything was cleared. Now, what does this show us? Ravana, we already saw, is delusion. Caused of ignorance, this moha, this delusion takes place. And delusion expresses as ego. And his ego was so powerful, 10-hooded, totally identified to the 10 sense organs. Hence he has 10 heads. Totally an extrovert personality. And Ravana had, if you actually see in the Ramayana, what did Ravana have? Ravana had everything. Whatever Ravana wanted, Ravana got. Hook or crook, he would take it. Because he felt that by having it, he will be happy. But he was still never happy. Identified totally with this body, this mind, this intellect, the 10 senses. That ego becomes the doer, the enjoyer, the perceiver, the feeler, the thinker. Basically, the jiva, this individual, you and me, in full flight. Total extroverted. And this ego that we have, this identification, is invincible. You can't see it very well. And it attacks from different ways. A simple example for us spiritual seekers. When we are studying, say for instance, we study Tattva Bodh. And in Tattva Bodh, it teaches us Sadhana Chatushtaya. It talks about Jiva Jagat, Jagadishwara. It talks about Jivan Mukta, the realized one. It talks about the waking dream, deep sleep. It talks about everything in general. Having understood it from the teacher, the student feels, I know everything. Why I need Guru now? Ego. I can teach also. Ego. We think we know everything after that. I remember when we were studying in the ashram, one person went to our Acharyaji and said, Swamiji, I am going to leave the course. And Swamiji said, just wait, for a few more lessons, you will learn something new. No, I know everything you have got to tell. Look at that ego. I know more than the Guru. I don't need to study. I know it all. And there are some people feel that they are such a good person. Everybody else is bad. Look at that ego. I am a good sevak. I don't know why other people are terrible people. I am better than them. Ego. And this ego, when it plays in our life, it plays as the Nagapasha. And what is this Nagapasha? Doubt. And when doubt comes in our life, it limits us. So this Ravana, this ego, creates doubt in us. Creates a sense of limitations. And it starts poisoning our own thinking. It starts to create doubt in the knowledge itself. It starts to create that doubt in our Guru, doubt in God, doubt in the scriptures, doubt in our own self also. Why? Why does this doubt come? Now, please understand, we're talking about the ego from ourselves. But other ego from outside also can create this doubt in us. You have studied so much scriptures now. When are you going to practice? Are you practicing? No. So therefore, I think you better stop studying. And no point you would even, at trying to take a study class or anything as a sevak, right? You better spend time practicing. Suddenly that doubt comes, I'm not practicing. So therefore, what is the point of me studying more and more scriptures? I must practice what I have learned, no? So therefore, I leave my study and I go to so-called practice. As I told you, when you leave the hands of the Guru, that study class, that satsang, we get caught in that delusion. We get caught in the web of negative influences and we stop practicing. What keeps us in our journey is this satsang. That's why Pujya Gurudev started these study classes. Right? Not only we study the knowledge, and this knowledge is studied in different ways. And never get to that point when you feel that, I know this. Because the more you practice and the more you study, the more you understand you don't know and you get new things out of what you are studying. Otherwise, what is happening is a Ravana is putting doubt in your mind. Why does this happen? It is because lack of Shraddha. In the words of the Guru, in the scriptures, in God. Ego creates this confusion and conflicts in our mind. And when these agitations, these doubts come, we all know the moment we have a doubt with somebody, what is your state of mind when you meet that person? Are you going to be fully able to embrace that person? In the same way, when doubt comes about scriptures, Guru and all that, our mind is always agitated and is not able to take in. Our energy gets drained. Our actions become paralyzed. And we're not able to deal with life situations. Sometimes we find that these doubts come because we only have bookish knowledge. Means we study, but we have no practical application of this knowledge. In the sense, I've never actually put it into practice. How many times we have heard, Swamiji, this scripture is impractical. But the question is, have you practiced the sadhanas that we give in class? So then if you have not practiced, how is it practical? So therefore, this bookish knowledge with no practice, no sadhana, of course doubt will come. Because you have knowledge in the head, but you've never practiced anything. When a situation arises, you don't know what to do because you never practiced. And your mind is not strengthened by the sadhana. So therefore, you're going to fall for everything. Or this doubt comes when we slacken our sadhana. We must constantly practice. Practice makes us perfect. And we seem to have more faith in our ego and our limitations. Not in that infinite Lord, not in our Guru who is going to lift us up. But in this limited ego, we have total faith. So how to get out of this doubt? Gita Krishna calls it Samshayatma, doubting Thomas. How do we get out of this? It's only possible by the grace of the Guru. He is the only hope. And what will the Guru do? Bring Garudji to us. And what is this Garuda? That eagle which flies high in the sky, soars high, to great heights it goes. But from there, he has sharp vision and vigilance. And he notices that there is some evil, negative snake, some doubt sitting somewhere, some snake sitting out there. He will swoop down and take it. Finish it off. So therefore, this Garuda is our mind. Our mind must constantly be flying in high contemplation. Holding on to that high truth should be always devoted to that. And when one can intellectually understand that and devotedly be in that, hence Krishna says, fixed in that knowledge, take refuge in it, and be absorbed by the mind in it. So Guru gives us this knowledge and inspiration. This Garuda, his wings are said to be the Vedas, the knowledge of the scriptures. And his flapping is the Vedic mantras. As he flaps, the sound that comes is the Vedic mantras. So therefore, this Garuda, we must make our mind as. Fly high in its vision, in its knowledge, in its contemplation, but yet alert and vigilant to make sure that any bad negative influence comes, cut it off. So therefore, what is that sadhana? To conquer this ego that comes as doubt. Mind must be kept in high contemplation. Daily introspection. Daily, every night we must do introspection. Reflect on how the day went. And then, slowly, that daily introspection becomes moment to moment introspection. Holding and living a life of higher ideals. Holding on to good thoughts and positive thoughts, high thoughts we must be thinking of. How will my Lord function like this? How will my Guru function like this? Hold on to such thoughts. Remain alert and vigilant. So that you can pick out any doubt, any drama that comes and cut it away. And if we have any doubt and we feel at that moment doubt is coming on, approach your Guru. That is why you need a physical Guru in life. Approach and ask your Guru how to not get consumed by this doubt and clear it and cut it away. Daily japa. When we studied Bhajagovindam with Bujja Swamiji just a few weeks ago, what did Bujja Swamiji say? 5 sadhanas he gave us. 1, daily study of the scriptures. 2nd, do your japa on your favorite form of that Lord, so you can create single pointedness of mind and love for that Lord. So knowledge about the Lord, take refuge. Try to live that knowledge. Through the mind, single pointed devotion, create that. At the same time, get single pointed. And then meditate on the form of your Ishtadevata, your favorite form of Lord. Keep the company of satsang. Satsang again and again. Company of saints and sages, positive people who are going to lift you to that goal. And every action should be in that spirit of giving in charity. And this is the true karma yoga. For the welfare of the world, keep giving. There is great joy in giving than getting, in receiving. But it's only one who gives will know the difference. And as we evolve and spiritually grow within, the joy of giving becomes more. Because who are you giving it to? This entire creation is nothing but the Lord in different forms. And the Lord sits in my heart. The Lord sits everywhere. Who are you giving it to? To the Lord only, who has given you everything. So therefore, serve your Guru, worship the Lord and seek the self. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamate. So therefore, Guru only can help us to give us this knowledge, help us to have clarity in thinking, clear our doubts, create that love and relationship towards that Lord, so that we can take refuge in that knowledge, be absorbed in devotion in that knowledge. When mind and intellect are together, no doubt can ever come. But our mind is so alert that it's ready to catch any doubt. And in such an equipment, we are able to act and function with that knowledge. Our actions are supported by the high knowledge. But if the moment the doubt comes and we're not able to catch it, then we become like Lakshmana. When the Naga Pasha caught him, it was not knowledge in action. Knowledge became inaction only. It could not be used. he became paralyzed. So therefore, the only refuge we have is Guru to remove our doubt. So therefore, don't underestimate the requirement of Guru in our life. Ko nahi janat hai jag mein kapi Sankat Mochan namati haro. Therefore, Hanumanji, who is that person that removes our sorrows? Who is that Sankat Mochan? He is none other than you. So therefore, bowing down to Sri Hanumanji, let us ask him to remove our sorrows. Now let us sing the glories of Bhagavan and do the Hanuman Chalisa. Will take extra few minutes, but let us take his blessings.
जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना धीर वीर गंभीर हनुमाना धीर वीर गंभीर हनुमाना जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना पवन तनय बल पवन समाना पवन तनय बल पवन समाना विजितेंद्रिय तुम हो धीमाना विजितेंद्रिय तुम हो धीमाना जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना जय 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 हनुमाना मन की गति से भरे उड़ाना मन की गति से भरे उड़ाना कपि सेना के तुम हो प्राणा कपि सेना के तुम हो प्राणा जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना जय 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 हनुमाना तुम अति प्रिय सिय राम लक्ष्मण तुम अति प्रिय सिय राम लक्ष्मण कृपया दीजे भक्ति निधाना कृपया दीजे भक्ति निधाना जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना जय 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 हनुमाना धीर वीर गंभीर हनुमाना जय हनुमाना जय हनुमाना श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी वरनौ रघुवर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार हमारे राम जी से राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी से राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर राम दूत अतुलित बल धाम अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिवे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया हमारे राम जी से राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी से राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे, लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए। श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए, रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई। तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई, सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे। अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा। नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते। कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा। राम मिलाए राजपद दीन्हा। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योता ही मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माही, जल दिलांग गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम रे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। नासे रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। तुमरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाय, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से ये सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलवीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सतबार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। हमारे राम जी से राम राम, कहियो जी हनुमान। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र
चंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Tomorrow will be our last day. We will be finishing off with our last two verses, verses 7 and 8 of Sankat Mochan. And as per our tradition, those of you who have gained from these talks and would like to make their Guru Dakshina offering. And what is this Guru Dakshina offering? This Guru Dakshina offering is different to any other type of offering. It is out of our gratitude we offer ourselves. That is what is dear to us, we offer to our Guru. Because he has given us this knowledge, we offer ourselves. Now, what is dear to us, that we offer. For many people, what is dear to them is their money. And of course, money is required for the guru to do guru's work, right? So therefore, this money that you offer goes towards the guru's work. So in one way, you can offer your gratitude by giving your money, sharing your money, offering your money in gratitude to the guru. You can offer other things like your time, your seva, sharing this knowledge with others, sharing this inspiration and the practices that you do, and inspire others to join and learn from this guru, right? So there are many ways we can show our gratitude, give our guru dakshina. Now this guru dakshina is out of gratitude, and if we want to give, it is not that you have to give guru dakshina, but if you feel grateful, our tradition is that we give. Now we ask that question that there is donation, there is sponsorship, there is guru dakshina. What is the difference? When we do sponsorship for the yagna, it is to support the running of the yagna. Now, during this COVID situation, expenses are not that many because it is online only. I'm at the ashram sharing with you. So the expenses are not as much as what it would be when we run it outside in a yagna shala, in a big hall, etc. So therefore, the expenses are less. But of course, to run the ashram, we need money or not. So therefore, whatever surplus we have, whether when we run yagnas and there's a surplus outside or there's a surplus in this yagna itself, will go towards paying for the expenses of the ashram. When you give a donation, that goes towards the running of the ashram, its expenses. But when you give guru dakshina, that money offering, that is for the guru to use for the work that he does, not only in the local center, but how many other centers the guru runs, how many other projects that is run globally. So that money that guru can share and use that for other purpose. It is not restricted only to the local center. Of course, Chinmaya Mission Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, Canberra, etc. Whatever surplus we have, we always share with our fellow centers. We share with our mother, which is India also. But this Guru Dakshina is that whatever you give your Guru, the Guru has a choice to where to share that money for the welfare of the world, to support other centers, support other projects, which will go in helping humanity and uplifting others. So therefore, if you feel sense of gratitude that my Guru has given me so much knowledge and I've gained so much from these talks, then dig deep and make your offering, because that offering will go towards helping many, many other people. Tomorrow, being our last day, we have the talks in the morning. So 10 a.m. we'll have our last talks, 10 to 11 on Sankat Mochan. And then at 11 o'clock, we will have a Sri Hanuman Puja, where all of you can participate on YouTube link, join for this Chinmaya channel. And those yajmans, those sponsors who have helped to support this big yagna of Gurudev's vision, Gurudev's work, Sankalpa will be taken on their behalf. And Sankalpa will be taken on behalf of all of you who have participated in listening to these talks. Sankalpa will be taken and the puja will be offered to Hanumanji. So all of you can be blessed. So that's at 11 o'clock to 11:30. And then 11:30 to 12, we'll have a question answer session. So those of you who have questions, please contact our Nandavana, message it to Nandavana. And those of you who have put your names on that Eventbrite and registered, obviously Nandavana would have sent you an email or will send you an email or WhatsApp telling you. And if you have any questions, put it there. And whatever time we have, we'll answer those questions. And if we run out of time, I will tell you tomorrow how you will get the answers for the balance. So this is the plan for tomorrow. With Hanumanji's blessings, Guru's blessings, and Bhagwan Rama's blessings, let us complete our yagna successfully tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.